Once again, we want to go right to the question without really worrying about the bullet points. If we need them, they're always there, but we probably don't need them. So let's just take a look at the question. It says the student wants to specify how the salt enables energy storage. So yeah, this is a pretty clear thing, but what I really like about this question is it almost asks a better question that I can then use to analyze the choices, right? The word how is really doing a lot of work here. I could just say, how does the salt enable energy storage, right? If it doesn't answer that, it's probably not the right answer of the question. So let's see. Scientists have developed a freeze-thaw battery that contains molten salt which liquefies when heated and solidifies at room temperature. Okay, is that saying how it stores the energy? Maybe. I don't know enough about all the science to kind of know for sure. But let's just follow my own advice, right? Turn into a question. How does the salt enable energy storage? It liquefies and solidifies, right? Notice they're not talking about the storage here, so I'm kind of left guessing. So that's not a good sign. The fact is, I'd love to really just be able to answer that question just kind of concretely based on the answer choice. So let's see. Choice B. The stored energy in a freeze-thaw battery, which contains molten salt, can be used by reheating the battery. Okay, well that's saying how the energy is used, but it's not saying how the energy is stored, right? How is it stored? I don't know. It's molten salt, I guess, maybe? I don't know. Again, I don't feel like I'm getting a very clear answer from this. Let's look at C. When the molten salt in a freeze-thaw battery solidifies at room temperature, energy stops flowing and can be stored in the battery. So, how does the salt enable energy storage? When it solidifies, the energy stops flowing and is stored in the battery, right? Notice I can just read the answer choice, maybe arranging the words slightly differently, and it just fits. It just answers my question. So that's probably it. Let's look at D. Molten salt allows a freeze-thaw battery to retain 92% of its charge after 12 weeks. Again, that's great, but how does it get to retain that charge? I don't know. So C is the answer here. Remember though, if we were confused, we could go back here. This might be one where I think some of you are going to go back to the bullets and kind of figure it out. We see here the fact about the 92%. Again, that's not saying how it does it. The battery contains molten salt. Solidifies, they're talking about the liquefaction, the solidification. When the salt's in a liquid state, energy flows through the battery. When the salt is in a solid state, energy stops flowing and is stored in the battery. This is literally just, I mean, it's pretty much the answer, right? They just kind of slightly reworded it. But I don't know. I feel like if I had gotten all the science into my head at the beginning, I would have been more inclined to include irrelevant information in the correct answer or in the answer that I choose, right? So for me, the benefit of not reading the bullets is I've got a clean slate. I'm just going in with no knowledge about batteries or anything like that. And that allows me then to say, okay, if I were reading this essay about this battery, I would also be going with a clean slate. I wouldn't know. And the author of that would have to tell me, the reader, the exact thing that I'm looking to know. And if I'm confused after reading a sentence, it probably didn't give me the information I'm looking for. And so I'd rather have no information in my head rattling around to get confused. So just find the strategy that works best for you. But remember too, these questions are the last ones in the section. They are among the easiest questions. So you want to make sure you don't run out of time. So either skip to them first or make sure you save time by not wasting your time on the bullet points.